Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to JWF Regal Rumble. I'm your host, Silver Spoon, joined as always by a man who's known to rumble in the jungle. It's Captain Tibbs.
I used to do tours through it. I call them the Heart of Darkness.
That's right, Tibbs, and let me tell you something. This is the most exciting pay-per-view of the year, and we're starting off with something big. A match for the JWF World Heavyweight Championship.
That's right, Sills. Normally a match that would end the show. Normally a match of such caliber, such awesomeness. But this damn show's gonna be so good, we gotta start with it.
That's right, and there he is, the man who will be facing our champion. For the opportunity to wear that belt, Blake Tanner sporting a new look. And that's really been the storyline heading into this match. We know Blake Tanner, one of the longest reigning champions in our modern era, but he's claimed that he's improved, that he's become a new man ever since losing that title. And he wants to put that new man to the test against the champ.
You know, Sills, he can say he improved with that new hairstyle all he wants, but damn, I'm not a fan.
I gotta agree with you there, Tibbs. I mean, it's like the old Blake Tanner is gone and this new one has been resurrected, and I don't know how the JWF universe feels about him, and I definitely don't know how this man feels about him. He is our champion, the God of Law, God of the Sea, and God of the entire JWF, Mamoa Curry.
Look at that sexy deity with his sexy title. Damn.
That's right, Tibbs, and you gotta think, Mamoa Curry, this is probably the most exhausted he's ever been going into a match. We know in the past, he likes to do training camps before matches. He wants to make sure he's as well rested as possible, but he has been put through the ringer in the past 2 weeks. Fighting off against Blake Tanner's partners in the Dynasty, first defeating the Dylan, and then managing to sneak out a victory over Scotty Moore. But let's not forget, that was a DQ victory. Scotty Moore assaulting Mamoa Curry, beating him down with his cash-in-the-bag briefcase before Blake Tanner came out and stomped his head into the mat.
Well, you see, Sills, I think that's why you see Mamoa Curry here in the ceremonial garb of his people, the Atlanteans. That good luck star around his neck.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following match is for the JWF Championship. In the left corner, he is 1/3 of the Dynasty. He is the Blake Tanner. And in the right corner, he is God of Law, God of the Sea, and your JWF World Heavyweight Champion, Mamoa Curry.
All right, Tibbs, and there it is, Mamoa handing off that title for what very well may be the last time. Mamoa's had some hell of matches ever since earning that title. Hold it hot! That's not Shibby.
Who the fuck? Did I hire another referee?
Damn it, Tibbs, we're in the fucking Royal Rumble arena again.
Oh, shit. Oh, it's okay, there he is.
Shibby's back!
Sills, we've done some teleportation bullshit again. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you. Don't worry about it.
Well, speaking of not worried about it, it looks like Blake Tanner. Oh! I don't think Blake Tanner was worried about Mamoa Curry, but he especially should be right there after Mamoa sends him flying to the outside over that top rope.
Oh, Mamoa Curry. He's trying to assert a little bit of dominance early on, but Blake Tanner, he's just been fired up, trying to go with the champion.
That's right. I mean, you gotta think, no one has even come close to beating Blake Tanner's record for the longest reigning JWF champion until Mamoa Curry came along, and that has lit a fire under Blake Tanner's ass as he picks up Mamoa. He's got him in that powerbomb position, but oh, Mamoa fighting back with huge shots to the skull of the beast.
Exactly, Sills. Not to mention Blake Tanner, the only member of the Dynasty who has not defeated Mamoa Curry one-on-one.
That's right. Well, I mean, he's also never really had the opportunity. I mean, in the past, we've seen Scotty Moore have epic battles with Mamoa Curry. The Dylan faced off on him in numerous occasions. You got to remember, the Dylan actually retired Mamoa Curry at one point.
That's right, Sills. He ended a legendary streak of Mamoa Curry as JWF champion.
That's right. And now, Mamoa, the big kick to the gut. Huge stomp to the face, absolutely leveling Blake Tanner, going for a pinfall 1. And Blake kicking out before Shibata's hand could even hit the mat.
Mamoa Curry, when he likes to go for those early pins, it's just a show of dominance, a show of supremacy.
That's right, the mind games that the champ likes to play as he picks up Blake Tanner once again. Goes for a big neck breaker, but Blake reverses and clotheslines him into that turnbuckle and now just stomping on him. And this is that vicious streak that we've seen from Blake Tanner in the past. This is that vicious attitude that only the Bee's been able to bring. As he goes and, big European uppercut levels the champion and drops him with a leg drop.
You see, Sills, it's still early on in the match, but we haven't seen a clear Viktor.
We might after that as Blake Tanner nails the bee sting 1. Mamoa kicking out.
This is one of those matches.
And let's not forget the bee sting. It's one of Blake Tanner's patented moves. It's the move that honestly secured him the JWF Championship when he first won it. Mamoa was going for the Momoan punch, but Blake Tanner fighting back. And now it's really a matter of just seeing which one can get the edge.
Yeah, Sills. Now, Blake Tanner is a fantastic competitor, but tonight is where we're going to see if he really has the endurance that Mamoa Curry, this new Mamoa Curry, can bring.
Right, and 2. And after that, nailing that Momoan punch, it looked like Mamoa Curry almost had the victory secured right there. And as he backs up, Tibbs, he may be able to secure the victory with a spear. No! Blake Tanner dropping him, stopping him at the pass, hitting him with a DDT, but Mamoa still fighting back. And unfortunately, it looks like Blake Tanner just not able to get any momentum behind him.
No, Sills, a very great reversal, though. Really calculated on the part of Blake Tanner. It seems that he scouted Mamoa Curry well, but that just looks like it's made Mamoa Curry angry.
That's right. No. Wait a minute. Tibbs, that's the music of the Dynasty. Blake Tanner's tag team partners, Dylan, Scotty Moore, they were supposed to be banned from ringside. What in the world's going on?
I don't know, Sills. They're not supposed to be here.
Blake Tanner, I think Blake was just using that as a distraction, but unfortunately, Mamoa Curry staying one step ahead. I mean, these cheating tactics, this kind of deception, it's worked to get the Dynasty nearly draped in gold. Have the BS had the tag championships. Blake Tanner securing the captain's championship. But if there's one man who I don't think those tactics will work on, it's that man right there, Mamoa Curry.
That's right, Sills. Momoa's seen just about every trick in the book at this point. It's going to take a lot to actually get under his skin.
That's right, but Blake Tanner's trying to get under his skin right there with that big elbow drop from the top, picking up Mamoa. And I don't know, Blake could be going for another bee sting. No, popping him in the corner, big clothesline, and then Bulldog leveling, and he's actually got the champ bleeding, Mamoa Curry bleeding, and Blake Tanner looks like he's barely lost a sweat.
That's right, Sills. That's a heavy victory right in its own, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, because it looks like we're about to see.
Oh my God! The knee striking the skull of Mamoa Curry, and now he backs up. Blake out! Blake out! Blake out! Goes for the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Mamoa Curry barely got that shoulder up at the last minute. I'll be honest, Tibbs, I wouldn't be surprised if Mamoa Curry wasn't concussed after that. You got to remember, he had that Blake out into the cash in the bag briefcase on last episode of War. Then he had the knee crack against his skull, a second Blake out. Mamoa Curry's not sure where he's at, but levels Blake Tanner with some clotheslines.
That Blake out looked like it cold cocked him, but that's the thing. If you don't put Mamoa Curry away, he'll get right back up doesn't matter if he knows where he is, because that just puts him in survival mode right there, Sills.
That's right, but Blake Tanner now trying to form some sort of response, tossing Mamoa into the corner. Now Blake Tanner putting him in position, slapping him in the face. The disrespect of Blake Tanner is, what the hell is he doing? Propping Mamoa up onto that top rope, and then, oh my God, just sending both knees unceremoniously crashing into the ribcage of Mamoa Curry, and you gotta think that's knocked all the wind out of him. It's gonna be harder to breathe after that.
Sills, that was utterly vicious on the part of Blake Tanner. 2 knees right to the gut. That does not feel good.
And this definitely won't feel good as he backs up, nails a second Blake out. 1, 2, 2. Mamoa once again. Oh, but wait a minute. Blake Tanner in the corner almost mocking Momoa's setup for the spear, but levels him with a drop kick and then an elbow drop for good measure. I think at this point, Blake Tanner's just playing with his food, Tibbs.
That's right, Sills, but that's the thing about Mamoa Curry. You can't play with him too long. He is the kind of person, he's the kind of God who will get right back up.
That's right, and sweeping the leg of Blake Tanner. And Mamoa, he's back in the corner. He's not been able to nail it, but perhaps third time is the charm with a fisherman's spear, and Blake Tanner's body unmoving. Mamoa being forced to drag him away from the ropes, goes for the pinfall attempt. 1, 2, 3. And after an absolutely vicious display from Blake Tanner, after bloodying Mamoa Curry, after nearly concussing the champion, Mamoa Curry came from out of nowhere with that fisherman's spear and retained his JWF World Heavyweight Championship.
And that has got to weigh heavy on the soul of Blake Tanner and the Dynasty. They thought they had it in the bag. These boys, they had everything, and now they've got nothing.
That's right, Tibbs. And let me tell you something, I honestly thought Blake Tanner had it right there on that pinfall, but you can see the bloodied face of Mamoa Curry staring out at the JWF universe, and you can see Mamoa Curry is exhausted, his body covered in blood. I mean, let me tell you something, he is going to have to go to a doctor after this at least to get checked out, because I don't think he's still there.
No, you can see it. He may be celebrating, but he's just a little wavery. He's not all there. He's
Scotty Moore! Scotty Moore slamming the cash in the back briefcase into the skull of Mamoa Curry, and he's cashing in! He's cashing in! He's grabbed the championship, and he's... Wait a minute, Blake Tanner! Blake Tanner, oh my God! Pulling Scotty Moore out of the ring, leveling him, stopping the cash in. What's Blake Tanner thinking?
Hey everybody, Captain Tibbs here, Commissioner of the JWF, and I'm here today to tell you about merch.aloadapureBS.com/fightboys, where you can find all of your great merchandise for the JWF superstars that you love the most. Here we have t-shirts, tumblers, whatever you could want, where you can support your favorite superstars. We have things like the Blake Tanner Anti-Underdog shirt. We have the Captain Tibbs shirt with my beautiful face on it. Something with the JWF logo. Are you a fight boy or a fight girl? Doesn't matter, we got shirts for them both. And of course, my favorite, the Fight Boys tumbler glass. You can put anything in it, even Captain Tibbs' special drink. Whatever you want, find it over at merch.aloadapureBS.com and look for the Fight Boys section.
All right, Tibbs. After that match, that insane match between Blake Tanner and Mamoa Curry, it's now time for a match that I gotta say, I think you've got some personal stakes in, as that man, Felix Ball, the JWF Captain's Champion, takes on your son, Canada Charlie. I'm sorry, Chuck Tibbs, I'm sorry.
How dare you disgrace it with that name, Sills? Never again!
Well, I mean, of course, they're coming out, the Canadian crew, and let's not forget, Chuck used to be part of that crew. He used to be a big name in the Canadian crew, of course, until last year's Wrestlepalooza, where he broke apart. And of course, in a winning effort, joined you to take on these two men, Felix Ball and his associate, the Lumberjack.
That's right, so seeing both of these men, it pisses me off in a special way. Felix Ball has been after my life, Sills. Been after my life!
That's right, and I mean, one man who is a big part of your life is, of course, Felix's opponent tonight, your son, the former Canada Charlie, now known as Chuck Tibbs. All right, there he is coming down to the ring. Chuck Tibbs, and let me tell you something, Tibbs, I gotta know. You're seeing your son, he's looking focused, he's looking ready. He's got fucking swords on his back for some reason. And I just gotta know, how do you feel? Felix Ball, he seemed reinvigorated, he seemed more violent in recent months. Do you think Chuck can hold his own against his former mentor, Felix Ball?
You know, I don't know, Sills. This is a new aesthetic that Chuck has wanted to go with in his whole individualistic thing. I caught him on Netflix the other night watching the anime.
Oh, well, I mean, that's something every father has to go through one day or another, but now let's see how it's gonna start off. And oh my God, Chuck was trying to go for his spear, perhaps learned that from the champ, Mamoa Curry, but Felix immediately ducking it, and he's immediately got control, but Chuck fighting back with a flurry of punches.
Sills, I really am pulling for my son because he has shown that he can and will beat Felix Ball in a one-on-one tournament. You know, any one-on-one situation. It does worry me that the Lumberjack is out there, though.
That's right. I mean, the Lumberjack, the known associate of, Felix Ball, as Chuck hits that beautiful splash down on the man known as the Wrecking Ball. But of course, I mean, the Lumberjack, he has definitely played a big part in Felix Ball's career, a big part in his success. Which, I mean, I gotta think, that's a little bit ironic. You gotta remember, the man who brought the Lumberjack into this company, it was not Felix Ball. It was your son. It was Chuck.
Of course, it goes to show what kind of manipulative nature that Felix Ball has. He's almost like a cult leader. Canadian cult leaders. You know, they all do come from Canada.
Oh, wait a minute. Looks like the Lumberjack had slid its chair into the ring, but it looks like it has backfired as Chuck grabs it, props it up into the corner. And now Felix was trying for a big boot, but Chuck stops him at the pass. But there it is, the Lumberjack getting on the apron, distracting Chuck long enough for Felix to, in a big backbreaker.
That's exactly what I was worried about, Sills. You see the Lumberjack, he's right out there. He can cause any kind of distraction. Much as I love my son, Chuck, he can become so easily distracted in the ring. It's something that he really needs to work on.
That's right, but now, Felix was going for a big body slam, but Chuck fighting back, trying for something big. And you've got to think, the last time these two went one-on-one in a ring was a couple of years ago at Summerfest. It was, of course, Felix's debut match here in the JWF was against Chuck, then known as Canada Charlie. And that was the night where this entire mess began. That was the night where Felix extended an offer to Charlie to join him in his ranks. And it's amazing seeing how far we've come since then, Tibbs.
Amazingly so, Sills. Since then, my son, he has realized who he is, what he is capable of. And I think he's come so far. And he can do this!
That's right, as he hits that beautiful dive over the top rope, absolutely leveling the Wrecking Ball. Let me tell you something, Felix Ball is known as the densest man in the JWF, and that's not without reason. He may be a small man, but he weighs over 600 pounds, and I'm amazed that Chuck was able to level him like that.
I know, so being able to put Felix Ball down, you know, you've never known density until you've had to try to lift Felix Ball.
That's right. Now Chuck, he set up that chair in the corner once again, just bragging, waiting for Felix to get into the ring. But wait a minute, Felix whips him into the ropes, whips him out onto the apron, and oh my God, just punches him to the outside.
Oh, Chuck is down. This is a dangerous place to be in. If anywhere where Felix Ball could land on top of you, but doesn't look like he's chosen to do that.
That's right. Oh my God, dragon corkscrew leg whip. Takes down Felix Ball, and now Chuck has just gone mad. He's taken apart well, it's not our announce table. This is the Royal Rumble Arena.
Yeah, we're back home. It's fine.
All right, and now getting whipped into the ring is Chuck Tibbs. Felix Ball getting up on the apron, and oh my God! All 600 pounds of him just crashing down, guillotine leg drop, and now he's picked him up for the... Oh, wait a minute. I thought he was going to nail it. I thought he was going to hit the gravity well, but Chuck got out of it. It's a big clothesline, but no, the lumberjack once again distracting.
Of course, that's the lumberjack's job in this match, Sills. The lumberjack is going to do whatever he can to make sure Felix Ball wins.
That's right, but Chuck now just staring at Felix, but Felix, taking advantage, but Chuck reversing it with a big clothesline. And now, jawbreaker. And now Felix, though, whipping Chuck into the corner. Went for a clothesline, but Chuck reversing it into a big elbow. And now both of these men just jockeying for position. Now Felix once again grabbing it, but it seems like everything that Felix seems to be throwing Chuck's way, Chuck seems to be reversing it. The student surpassing the master, but wait a minute. Chuck picking him up for a big lumberjack slam, and you know the lumberjack can't be happy about that, Tibbs.
Oh, that's really good. Just showing the lumberjack who's boss. Just showing exactly what Chuck...
You can see the lumberjack, he is offended. And wait a minute, he just leveled Shibata. Felix Ball leveling Shibata, and now he's reaching in for something, and oh my God! Just cracks the jaw of Canada Charlie with, I think those were brass knuckles. 1, 2, Chuck barely getting the shoulder up, but Chuck doesn't seem responsive. Chuck is barely moving.
God, Sills, it looks like he broke his nose with that. How could you, Ball?
And oh my God! A big boot off the top rope sends Chuck crashing down onto that steel chair, that chair that Chuck had been trying to make use of. It ends up being his reckoning.
Felix Ball has been after everything that I hold dear for these last few months, and he's willing to do that?
That's right.
God damn it!
And now Felix looks like he's trying for something big, picked up Chuck off of the announce table. And I don't know, what do you think's going through Felix Ball's mind at this point? He's got Chuck, who clearly looks concussed, and that definitely doesn't help it as he hits a second guillotine leg drop. And now Felix has got that steel chair, trying to bring it back into the ring. You okay there, Felix?
Oh, jeez, Sills, I can't watch this, but Chibi's trying to stop him.
But no. Felix actually punching Shibata, showing no respect to our referees. Oh my God! Chuck's skull careening into that steel chair, and Felix now just picking him up. And let me tell you something, I feel bad right now. Chuck is unresponsive. This is like watching a prison beating. There's nothing Chuck can do.
No, Sills, I'm really... I can't believe that even someone like Felix Ball would stoop to these levels. He's just trying to get to me. He's beating my son like this in just such an unprofessional way.
And oh my God! Tibbs, we gotta get somebody out of here. We gotta send somebody out to end the damn match. This is horrifying.
Sills, we're hundreds of miles away in the commentary booth. What can we do?
I don't know, but Felix now on top of one of the commentary tables, picks him up, gravity well, straight through that announce table, and you could just see Chuck's head bouncing off of the mats.
Oh, Sills' head hit the barricade.
And
oh, God.
Felix Ball now taking Chuck whipping him into the ring. And I think he's getting ready to end it. Felix Ball, stalking his prey like a hungry lion, picks Chuck up off the ground. Big elbow straight into the skull. I don't think Felix wants to end this. I think Felix just wants to destroy your son, Tibbs.
This is exactly what he came to do, Sills. I was a fool not to see it.
Now he's got Chuck up on the top turnbuckle, sending him flying nearly all the way across the ring. And it looks like he's calling for the end. Felix Ball getting ready for the end as he picks up Chuck off of the ground, picks him up, gravity well, straight into the mat. And, Tibbs, I don't want you to have to see this. He's locked him in the captain's hook. He's trying to break the ankle of Chuck Tibbs.
Chuck, I showed you. You can break out of it, Chuck.
Well, he didn't break out. Instead, it looked like Felix Ball relented, instead opting now to put more punishment on him. It's like he's locking him in every move he can think of.
He's just trying to destroy him.
I don't know, Tibbs. I don't know. He's locked him in once again, working over the lower back, wrenching back on that neck, the neck of your son. And Felix just staring at this point. I can almost see like a sickening smile growing on his face, pleased with his handiwork.
This is what Felix Ball does, Sills. It's easy to forget how much of a veteran he is, how skilled of a competitor he is. He was able to take apart my son like it was nothing. He took a cheap shot, and now he's just been picking him apart for minutes. And my son hasn't been able to do anything. Because how could you? How could you do something against such reckless hate?
And slamming him into the ring. I don't know, Tibbs. I don't know what Chuck can do as he's up on the top. Oh my God, Chuck's neck going across that bottom turnbuckle. That one crushed his larynx as he once again locks him in. He's got the captain's hook locked in. And Chuck is forced to tap out after resisting so much pain, after resisting so much punishment. Your son finally forced to give.
This is all my fault. This is all my fault, Sills. I led into this. I didn't prepare well enough. Oh, God. Oh.
Well, ladies and gentlemen at home, I gotta say, Chuck Tibbs, an amazing competitor. Felix Ball, great in his own right, but it's almost uncomfortable to watch these replays, uncomfortable to see exactly what Felix Ball did here tonight. His actions are gruesome, and I gotta say, Tibbs, we have Oh, Felix, what are you doing? Felix Ball now going to the outside of the ring, picking up Chuck off the ground, whipping him back into the ring.
What are you doing, you bastard? I'll give you what you want. Just leave him alone. No! He's got a sledgehammer, Sills.
That's right. And oh my God! Just taking the sledgehammer down onto the ankle of Chuck Tibbs, absolutely decimating the legs of Chuck, and now he's locked him in the captain's hook again. He's locked him in. Chuck screaming in pain as he slaps the mat.
Stop. Fine. I'll give you what you want.
The year was 1969. The US was in a race to the moon against the USSR. What they didn't expect, however, was to find their real enemies not waiting in Russia, but instead on the very moon they were aiming for. 50 years later, and our world is still at siege from enemies beyond our stars. And that's where the Space Marines come into play, and let me tell you something, I'm one of the best. The name's Dane Armstrong, the world's greatest Space Marine, and the man who's come to save your asses.
Not really. Join the BS Network as they head straight into the stars for Deviant, an audio drama featuring action, adventure, space piracy, and karaoke? Hop aboard and fly with us into the stars every other Sunday on this Deviant.
All right, Tibbs, we now move on from what was an absolutely horrifying assault on your son Chuck to this match, a Texas street fight for the JWF Tag Team Championships. And we see coming down to the ring right now the team of Sam Adams and Houston Longhorn. Houston, of course, a former JXT champion in our developmental territory. He's come here. He's aligned himself with that man, Sam Adams, and of course their mentor, Spider Lockhart. And they've been running roughshod over the tag division ever since.
And Sills, I'm sorry if I'm not gonna be all the way here for this match. I've gotta make sure my son's okay. I just gotta make sure after that brutal, devastating beatdown, you're gonna have to watch the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys because they're such good challengers. They're gonna be competitive against these men here. Our champions, the VWO.
And here they come, ladies and gentlemen, men who honestly, a year ago, almost to the date, the VWO seemed broken. Justin wasn't even in the company. Griffin was fighting with his brother, the Hammerman, constantly, but they had an amazing 2019, which led to them becoming the Tag Team of the Year, winning the Tibby Award for that, and then, of course, winning the JWF Tag Team Championships from the men known as the Dynasty. And Tibbs, let me tell you something. I know a Texas street fight might be in the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys wheelhouse, but I think the VWO are about to burn them that wheelhouse and build up a vape shop.
You know, Sills, I wouldn't mind that now. I've really picked it up again since these boys have come back. I think it's pretty good. Honestly, the VWO have shown they're a pair of versatile fighters. They can come in, they can do just about anything they set their minds to, and I'm really proud of how far they've come.
That's right, and now, oh, wait a minute, Houston, was going for a big knee, but Justin fights back. Meanwhile, Sam Adams just stomping on Griffin. And let me tell you something, if I were the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys, Griffin would be the one I would target. Griffin is usually the smaller, the weaker one of the two, and if you take him out, it might be all over.
That's right, Sills. Griffin, of course, also known as the tactician of the VWO. He's the guy that comes up with all the plans. He's the one that's calling it. He is a ring general, if there ever was one.
That's right. Now Houston with a big forearm shot. Oh my God, just clotheslining Justin over the top rope to the outside. Now Houston on the top. It looks like he's prepping for something big, jumping, and just nailing him with a huge lariat, taking down Justin Clouds. And let me tell you something, that clothesline over the top rope, that's something we're definitely going to be seeing a lot in our main event, the Regal Rumble match, where 20 men enter the ring, but only one man can leave with an opportunity to face the JWF champion at Wrestlepalooza.
Man, Sills, I'm really looking forward to it. The Rumble is one of my favorite events of the year. I'm real sorry if I'm just
Wait a minute! Griffin had Sam Adams caught for the undervapor, but Adams reverses with a vapor of his own. Goes for the pinfall. 1. And Griffin kicking out at 1. Let me tell you something. It's one of the most devastating moves in Griffin Clouds' arsenal, but it seems to me anytime somebody else hits it, they just can't get the angle right. They haven't been able to nail it like the innovator Griffin can.
That's the thing, Sills. The undervapor is a variation of what we call the tombstone pile driver. You can hit as many of those as possible. What is he doing?
Oh my God! Sam Adams just sending his body and Justin's flying through that barricade. That is horrifying to see, Tibbs.
Gosh, you gotta hope that Justin Clouds is gonna get up. But as I was saying, that undervapor, only the Clouds know how to hit it. It is a special variation of that pile driver. that really, really knocks someone out just every time.
That's right, but I mean, the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys, they've almost turned this into a bar brawl right now, which of course you gotta think has to be the influence of their mentor, Spider Lockhart, a man who of course you infamously hired after witnessing him get into a bar brawl back in the 80s.
That's right, Sills. I saw him get into a fight where he used a glass to smash a man's head in and then took a drink from it afterwards like it was nothing. It was amazing, but it was also one of the biggest mistakes of my life.
That's right. Meanwhile, Justin, he's got Houston into that corner, popping him up onto the top rope. Justin could be trying for something big. And, oh my God, picking up Houston, walking him into the center ring, muscle buster. And you gotta think that's nearly broken the neck of Houston Longhorn right there as he nails a spine buster for good measure.
That's right, Sills. Those back muscles, that muscle buster absolutely destroys them.
But it looks like Sam Adams quickly trying to destroy the VWO, sending Justin careening into Griffin. And now Sam just sitting on the top rope, perched for... Well, he just fell, it looks like, Tibbs.
Yeah, it looks like his foot slipped off the rope, Sills. It happens all the time, but it's usually a rookie mistake. Not something I'd expect to see from a veteran like Sam Adams.
That's right, but it's actually got him, he's got him locked in the figure 420, but unfortunately Houston forcing Griffin to relent. And now he's grabbed him by the neck, but Griffin fighting back, the VWO returning with control. Justin with that beautiful shoulder tackle from the top rope. You don't really think of him as much of a high flyer, but it looks like that big man wanted to fly tonight.
Oh, definitely, Sills. Like I said, the VWO, they have been trained in a variety of techniques. You'd be amazed at what they can break out. Their father, Clint Clouds, he knows so many different variations of so many moves, and he has taught them well to his sons.
That's right. Now Justin putting a hurting on Sam Adams as Griffin pulls Houston, tries just wailing on him, sending him crashing into our guardrail. As, Justin gets sent into the steel steps, and now Sam Adams actually pulling apart the steps. I mean, this is chaos, Tibbs. We knew what we were in for when it was announced that this was a Texas street fight, but this is a level of brutality I haven't seen before.
Absolutely, Sills. Anytime a street fight comes into play, especially a Texas street fight, you've got to be careful. And these are two boys from Texas. They are always going to be packing heat.
That's right, and Sam Adams packing a ladder right now. As, wait a minute! Oh my God, I don't think Sam Adams meant for that to happen as he slid the ladder directly under Griffin, who nails Houston Longhorn with an under vapor directly onto that metal ladder. And now, Justin was trying to powerbomb Sam onto the ladder, but he gets out of the way.
Oh, Sills, at this moment, you've got to really wonder,
barely kicking out of that roll-up was Griffin Clouds. Sam Adams looking distraught, sending Griffin into the corner. And now picking him up on the top turnbuckle. Wise move from Griffin getting down, because I think Sam was trying for a superplex onto that ladder, but he gets a pile driver instead for good measure.
At this point, it looks like the VWO have gotten in a little over their heads with a Texas street fight against two good old Southern boys.
Well, you say that, but Justin nailing a spine buster, but unfortunately Sam Adams breaking it up, but no! Justin was trying to drop kick Sam. Sam got out of the way. Justin ended up drop kicking his own brother instead. Griffin on the outside. He's just been sent through the ladder. Justin's alone in the ring, and he's got it. The sobriety test sends him down. Houston Longhorn going for the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a brand new JWF Tag Team Champion. And it is, of course, the team of Sam Adams and Houston Longhorn, the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys. And let's be honest, Tibbs, I don't think they could have done it if it wasn't for that miscommunication, if it wasn't for Justin accidentally drop-kicking Griffin in the corner. I honestly think the VWO would still have those belts today.
I would hope so, Sills, but that's the confusion That is the cluster that is a Texas street fight. All 4 men in the ring at one time. Any mix-up, any mess-up, it can cost you everything, like it just did the VWO, and I'm really sad to see it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following event is scheduled for one clusterfuck and is set to occur in Birmingham, Alabama. Introducing first, he is the bearded man from the Badlands, the absolute Badlands, Scotty Moore! And in the other corner, sporting the modest plaid on plaid on plaid, the man with the plaid crown, the plaid is plaid on the plaid, the man who knows nothing about wrestling and everything about plaid, the late Tenor.
I'm sorry, was I supposed to do something there? I thought this was just you two.
Oh, no, that's Dylan. Hey, Dylan.
And we are the Fight Boys, and it's a show about professional and not so professional wrestling. Make sure to check us out, because when you're a fight boy, you're a fight boy for life. All right, Tibbs, we now move from a match for the tag team titles to a match that sees a tag team completely dissenting from one another, as this man, Viktor, takes on his former partner, the Rat Boy Konnor, in what is going to be the first ever Loser Leaves JWF match.
Now, hasn't that happened before with the VWO?
Oh, I think that did. Yeah, hold on. First ever singles. Loser Leaves JWF. Oh, wait, hold on, Tibbs. I'm sorry. Sorry to have to interrupt, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually getting news from the back right now that Chuck Tibbs actually refusing medical attention. Doctors said that they looked at him, checked out the ankle, wanted to bring him to a local medical facility to perhaps work on the torn ligaments, but Chuck's refusing to go. What in the world's your boy doing, Tibbs?
Sills, I don't know. He can't possibly stand on that leg. He's got to go seek attention. I just can't believe that he would pull something so foolish.
That's right, and speaking of seeking attention, here is one JWF superstar who, Tibbs, let's admit it, seeks more attention than anybody on the roster. And it is this man, the former JWF Tag Team Champion. A man who made it to the finals of the King of the Steel City Tournament on more than one occasion. He is the Rat Boy Konnor.
I just don't understand the appeal, Sills. I just don't get it. Does that mean I'm getting old?
I don't think there are numerous things that are showing us you're getting old, Tibbs, but I'll let you know right now, not liking Konnor is not one of them. In fact, in latest polls, Konnor has been proving to be probably the least popular superstar we have.
Then why is he still here? I really hope Viktor just takes him out and sends him out to pasture tonight. That would make it all worthwhile, Sills.
That's right. I mean, that's what Viktor said. This match was trying to rid the JWF of a poison, the poison known as the Rat Boy Konnor. In tonight's Falls Count Anywhere Loser Leaves JWF match, and both of them starting off locking up. And now both of them jockeying for position. Konnor's got the back, but Viktor swapping around, getting the back instead, picking him up, slamming him to the earth. And let me tell you something, these two started out, they trained together, and you gotta think, this is almost a look back in the past, their first days training with each other, learning the basics, learning the lockup.
The thing is, Sills, when you have to fight someone that you trained with in the ring, because you've had to fight with them in so many training situations, when you have each had to put each other through so many different variations of different moves to understand how it feels, this is going to be a lockup of the century. You know exactly how to take your opponent's moves, word for word, blow for blow.
That's right. Now Viktor with a huge elbow stops Konnor. I think Konnor was getting a little bit of momentum, but Viktor with a big back body drop sends the Rat Boy to the ground. And you got to think, we talk about the VWO being the comeback story of 2019, I honestly think Viktor might be the comeback story of 2020. Let's not forget, Viktor did not come to this company on his own volition. He came as an invader. He came as an invader on Team WWE alongside Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman. They were all there, and Viktor decided to stick around because he loved the JWF so much. And I think that this match might just be the beginning of a banner year for Viktor.
I hope so, Sills. After everything, I mean, really, what has Konnor done?
Well, I mean, he's not been anything to sneeze at either. Let's not forget, he and Viktor, they've won the JWF Tag Team Championships. Konnor's made it to the end of the King of the Steel City tournament on numerous occasions. Konnor's proven himself to be something amazing if he would just apply himself. But as Viktor has pointed out numerous times, that's just not what Konnor does.
No, he just sits backstage sucking butter.
That's right, Tibbs. The Butterball, old Konnor is known as, just whips Viktor over the guardrail, sends him into our audience, and then sends him into the steel steps, and now Konnor going out into the audience as well. Might be going to looking for some weaponry out there.
Why would he just do that, Sills? Why would he just walk away? Why would he just... Oh, he's got a chair. Okay, he threw the chair away, Sills. He's grabbing it.
That's right.
What is he doing?
He's found something else.
Can.
He's found the trash can, but Viktor fighting it away, tossing it to the ground, and was trying to go for something big, but Konnor fighting back. Huge uppercut, trying to absolutely just knock Viktor down to the ground. Goes for an elbow strike, but he stays up. A second. Goes back, and the third finally levels Viktor, and the Rat Boy is looking salty tonight, Tibbs.
I would say so, Sills. Maybe this is Konnor applying himself. He put the trash can on his head, Sills.
Oh, and just crashing, crumpling that metal into the skull of Viktor, and you know that can't feel good as he picks him up for a power bomb, and he might send him straight through that trash can, Tibbs.
Oh, that doesn't look good, Sills. That looks painful. That could cut you right open.
That's right, but Viktor fighting back those huge shots to the skull, but Konnor fighting back as well, picking him up once again. He will not be denied for this power bomb, but... Oh, wait a minute, Tibbs. It looks like he's got a separate idea. Oh, my God! Sending him through those two steel chairs, absolutely decimating him. And now Konnor almost celebrating, getting up onto that box, just cheering with the people.
I don't understand, Sills. Who is this guy right here? Because I've never fucking seen him.
That's right. I mean, this might be the first time in history we've ever seen Konnor actually try, but oh my God! Flapjacking Viktor down, his skull cracking with a steel chair, goes for a pinfall. 1, 2, oh, barely. Viktor getting the shoulder up. And let me tell you something, if I were Viktor at this point, I'd be upset that I made that stipulation.
Right, Sills, Viktor has been talking so much. He has been highlighting all the failures of Konnor for so long, so many weeks. And now, for a moment, he is shown to be the weaker of the two.
That's right. Now, honestly, I think if you asked anybody to be more surprised than me, it wouldn't be possible. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen Viktor be an absolutely vicious individual, but Konnor just is coming back tonight with a huge lariat taking down Viktor.
I don't know what this is, Sills, because if you'd have told me that the possibility of Konnor winning a week ago was even on the table, I would have laughed in your face.
And oh, speaking of on the table, that's where Viktor just was, getting leveled with a power bomb as Konnor picks him back up, and oh, Viktor sends him in with a shot of his own, and then slams him to the earth. And now Viktor, I think the arrogance getting a little bit better. I mean, let's not forget, Konnor a couple of weeks ago brought up the fact that Viktor wants to talk about the Rat Boy's ego, but Viktor may just have as much of an ego as well.
Oh, definitely, Sills. They both seem to be very egocentric, but in very different ways. One is a very outward, flamboyant display of ego. Viktor's is more inward. You don't see it until you know it. Victor is somebody who still hates
wait a minute,
to
wait a minute,
lose.
wait a minute. He's going for the power bomb. He's leveled him. Got him at the very last minute. 2 down. Konnor can't get out. Konnor can't get out of Victor's power bomb. But Victor's not having it, whipping him into the ropes. Konnor needs to get some sort of comeback, and there it is, reversing Victor onto the ground, using that mat wrestling, using their training from when they were just starting so many years ago.
This is a truly amazing match, Sills, and if it were not for the stipulation that one of these men is going to be gone, and then it might possibly be Victor now, I'm kind of scared, honestly.
I don't know, but it looks like Victor's just gone insane. Victor's furious, just choking the life out of the rat boy. And Tibbs, I gotta be honest with you, I'm starting to feel sorry for Konnor in this situation.
I'm not.
I don't know, but he's still trying to put it, but wait a minute, Konnor reverses back body drop, levels Victor. Picking him back up once again as Konnor is now, wait a minute, reversal, big DDT from Victor, levels him, and at this point, if I'm Victor, you gotta go for that power bomb, you gotta go for something big at this point, or else Konnor might just, oh my God!
It's a low blow!
Konnor with the low blow, takes him to the ground, and then, oh my God, flapjacking him onto the ropes. Shades of Felix Ball's match with your son Chuck, where he just sent the throat over the top of the ropes, crushing the larynx, and now, oh no, Konnor picking up Victor on his shoulders for that powerbomb once again, and oh my God, just sending him to the ground and climbing onto the top rope. The Rat Boy is on fire.
Oh, if it were not for the stipulation, Sills, that low blow would have been completely illegal.
That's right. No, my God, it unfortunately leads to that massive choke slam, going for the pinfall on top of the announce table. 1, 2, 3.
What?
And Tibbs, after an amazing display, after an amazing couple of months from the man known as Victor, I mean, let's not forget, a month or so ago, I wouldn't have been surprised if Victor had become the JWF champion, but now Victor is gone. After a low blow from Konnor, after a choke slam through a table, the Rat Boy managed to get the 1, 2, 3 and secure his spot here in the JWF for the foreseeable future.
God damn it, Sills, why does this bullshit always keep happening at one of my favorite events? I just can't believe it, Sills. That's horrible. Damn it.
Hello everybody, this is everyone's favorite commentator, Silver Spoon, here to remind you that after the show, to go to patreon.com/a-load-of-BS. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, remember, the JWF and all the other BS Network programs exist because of listeners like you, because of our lovely patrons over at patreon.com/a-load-of-BS. For the price of a cup of coffee a month, you can support the JWF. You can support them good old Fight Boys, Fun Fiction, a load of BS. You can support the entire network for just a few dollars a month. And of course, you get access to our exclusive Discord where you can help us make decisions. You'll get shouted out on a load of BS every single week. We got tons of perks waiting for you over at patreon.com/a-load-of-BS.
All right, Tibbs, it's now time for our main event, the Regal Rumble match. A match where 20 men.
Holy shit, Sills, the Hammerman's first. Hammerman's first. Hammerman called his shot. He called his shot weeks ago. He's going to win the Rumble. He's going to win the Rumble, Sills. He's going to do it. He's going to go from 1 to 20, and he's going to knock that motherfucker out. The Hammerman. I've forgotten every bad thing that's happened tonight. Sills.
Well, Tibbs, as I was saying, this is, of course, a 20-man battle royal, where every 60 seconds or so, a new superstar will enter the ring until we get to 20. And, of course, only one man will be left standing, and that man will be going to the main event of Wrestlepalooza to be facing off against our JWF champion, whoever that may be at the time. It might be Mamoa Curry. Hell, it could be the Dylan. It could be whoever faces him. Who knows when it comes to Wrestlepalooza and the Regal Rumble.
It doesn't fucking matter, Sills, because the Hammerman's there.
That's right, but now let's see who's coming out next. Who's gonna be facing him? Well, Tibbs, it looks like this man is more than ready to avenge his loss earlier tonight against Mamoa Curry. And you gotta think, the ego of Blake Tanner, the ego that's developed, you gotta think he decided on his own to come in at number 2. He wanted to be that man, the first ever man to go the distance from beginning to end. And you gotta think that's playing into Blake Tanner's psyche right now.
You know, that's a big call, Sills, on the part of Blake Tanner, a man who's just gone through a grueling match of his own against Mamoa Curry. I gotta say, it's a painful display of ego.
That's right, but I mean, let's not forget Blake Tanner and the Hammerman have a massive history against one another. I mean, Blake Tanner has fought against the Hammerman for the Captain's Championships numerous times. So you gotta think this is just a revisitation right here as, Hammerman with a big boot absolutely levels the B, and tried to follow it up with a senton, but Blake Tanner getting the knees up.
You see, Sills, it's a good move on Blake Tanner's part, but you can see he wasn't quick enough to get the Hammerman because he's beaten, he's bruised. You can see it on him, Sills.
That's right. Now Blake bouncing off the ropes, drop down from the Hammerman, ducks under, and Blake Tanner with a shoulder tackle levels the masked man, the third member of the VWO. And now both of them jockeying for position. Hammerman with a big shot, but Blake fights back with a shot to the knee.
And I'm surprised this has been as competitive as it has been, Sills, despite the beating that Blake Tanner just took at the hands of Mamoa Curry.
All right, but it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready for our next entrant into the Regal Rumble matches. Hammerman hits a big shot, and it looks like it is the Funk Master himself.
Hey,
from JXT, the man known as Funky Flossie, who joins in with the Hammerman to beat down Blake Tanner. But Hammerman with a big kick takes down Funky Flossie as well. And let me tell you something, Tibbs. These two, this would be a dream match to see these two high flyers go at it in a ring, and we're getting a little preview of it tonight.
That's right, Sills. And of course, it goes to show there are no friends in the Regal Rumble.
That's right, as Hammerman with a big back suplex levels Funky Flossie as Blake Tanner sits behind him and waits. And now Blake Tanner, he's got him against the ropes, backing up, and oh my God! A low bridge from the Hammerman sends Blake Tanner flying to the outside, and you gotta think that the B is pissed after that.
That's it, Sills. There's your ego at play. Blake Tanner, he wasn't ready. He had a bad match, losing to Mamoa Curry. He was beaten. He was hurt.
But wait a minute. Here comes a man who did not have a losing effort tonight. It is a man who is one half of our new JWF Tag Team Champions, Houston Longhorn, and you've got to think the Hammerman is seeking some vengeance tonight for what they did to his brothers earlier tonight.
You can see the Hammerman, he looks incensed. He's fine to just let Funky Flossie be for the moment because he's going to beat the tar out of Houston Longhorn, but is that going to be enough? Funky tries to capitalize on it.
That's right, now just sends Funky flying into Houston, but unfortunately now it looks like Houston and Funky teaming up, the two former JXT standouts, facing a JWF original in the form of the Hammerman.
And here's the thing, Sills. Sam Adams, we know Houston Longhorn's tag team partner. Sam Adams has won the second wind. He could come in at any moment and help his partner. They could become a dominating effort. And then Sam Adams, he could come right back in.
All right, but let's see who's coming in at number 5. It's Tibbs! Tibbs! It's him! It's Danny Roanoke!
I thought that guy died.
One of the JXT standouts, one of the last men to face Houston Longhorn in JXT Professional Wrestling. He's now here in the JWF. And let me tell you something, Houston Longhorn looks pissed as all hell, Tibbs.
I would be too, Sills. Danny Roanoke, as he likes to be called, the party animal, the man who has fucked 1 million people across 1 million continents.
That's right, and he is taking on the Hammerman. Ooh, Hammerman sends him flying into the corner, just causing basically a car crash right there between Houston, Funky, and all of them. All right, now Houston getting propped up into the corner by Funky Flossie. Hammerman grabbing Daniel, sending him straight into Houston, and now Hammerman and Funky going after one another. And now let's see who's coming in. Coming in at number 6. Oh, let me tell you something. I thought it was all over for Houston Longhorn when Danny Roanoke came into play, but now Sam Adams is here. The Wild-Eyed Southern Boys, the new JWF Tag Team Champions, are here.
That's it, Sills. These two could run roughshod over the entire Rumble unless all the men in here realize what kind of danger they're in.
That's right, Hammerman and Houston. Oh, wait a minute. Houston finally striking on Danny Roanoke, getting ready for something. Meanwhile, Sam Adams actually just sent Funky Flossie to the outside.
Oh, poor Funky.
That's right, our second elimination. But Danny Roanoke takes out Houston Longhorn, finally getting vengeance for their vicious rivalry back in JXT. But the Hammerman stops him at the pass.
That's it, Sills. The Wild-Eyed Southern Boys are no longer a threat, but Sam Adams, he goes out at any time. He comes back in.
That's right, but here comes another man.
Fucking God.
A man who was victorious just a few short minutes ago, the Rat Boy Konnor. And let me tell you something, I don't think Rat Boy cares about winning. I think he's just elated about the fact that Viktor's not going to be in this match.
Yeah, Sills, I am too, and just...
But wait a minute, Hammerman takes down Rat Boy Konnor with a big Hurricane Rana as Sam Adams working over Danny Roanoke in the corner, trying to get him out. Oh, big hammer boot levels the Rat Boy as he climbs to the top rope. And oh, big stomp to the chest from the Hammerman.
You know, Sills, I love him like a son. But I'm still just impressed as hell that the Hammerman is right there. And I eliminated Konnor.
Rat Boy Konnor being eliminated. There's a little bit of tag team work between the Hammerman and Sam Adams. And now that clock ticking down, which means that we've got someone new coming in. Let's see who it's going to be. Oh, wait a minute. Hammerman taking Sam Adams out. I think Sam Adams was a little bit distracted by the entrance of Guy Fieri. And it allowed Hammerman to capitalize, but now Guy Fieri in like a house of fire. And let me tell you something, he's been described in the past as a mountain climber, a man who's always been close to reaching the peak, but never reaching the top. And let me tell you something, I think his ascension to the peak might start right now if he wins this Rumble.
That's right, Sills. Guy Fieri is always hungry, and he's always ready. He's gonna fight. He's gonna put everything he has into winning this match. But will it stand up to the Hammerman?
I don't know, because Hammerman, oh my God, a reverse suplex levels Guy Fieri, but Danny Roanoke picks him up. Oh, DVD leveling the Hammerman. Let's see that one more time.
Oh. Yeah, that's painful, Sills.
That's right, Danny Roanoke standing over the Hammerman. Guy Fieri trying to make his way back to his feet as we get ready for our next entrant. Ooh, Hammerman getting level with an STO.
Yep.
Oh, and here comes a man who has won the Regal Rumble before, just a few short years ago. This man won it. He had an amazing display in the Rumble last year. It is the leader of the dynasty, Scotty Moore.
Scotty Moore, of course, still the owner of the Cash in the Bag briefcase. So if he wins this, he can challenge, say, Mamoa Curry. He can challenge him, and even if he loses, he still has that briefcase.
That's right. Scotty Moore just beating down Guy Fieri as Danny Roanoke and the Hammerman go after one another. And let me tell you something. Scotty Moore with a wise move, clotheslining the Hammerman to the ground. You got to remember, Hammerman came in at number 1. If I was a fresh entrant into this match, Hammerman would have a target on his back, in my opinion.
He definitely does, Sills. The Hammerman has been in this the longest. The Hammerman has the most to lose at this point. He's the man that called his shot, Sills.
That's right, but let's see who's going to be joining these men at the fabled number 10. Oh, Tibbs.
Hey, it's Honey Mustard! Honey Mustard Jenkins!
We have not seen Honey Mustard Jenkins for nearly a year. You gotta remember, the dynasty, Scotty Moore's rise to power here in the JWF, it started with a match against Honey Mustard Jenkins and his partner, Coach James. Oh, wait a minute, looks like Danny Roanoke also eliminated on the outside.
Oh, this got hurt for Danny Roanoke.
All right, but Honey Mustard Jenkins staring down Scotty Moore, and you got to think there's no love lost. Oh, Guy Fieri! Guy Fieri sent over the top rope by the Hammerman, but now Honey Mustard Jenkins teaming up with the Hammerman to level Scotty Moore.
That's not a great place for Scotty Moore to be in. Honey Mustard and the Hammerman, two men that hate him with a fiery passion.
That's right, a little bit of the enemy of my enemy is my friend, but now, of course, Honey Mustard and the Hammerman going at it as Hammerman takes more use of that hammer boot, climbs onto the top rope, and then, oh, big stomp to the gut. Honey Mustard Jenkins looks to be in trouble by the Hammerman, who sends him over the top rope, and, oh, Tibbs. Looks like Honey Mustard did not come alone, as number 11 is his partner in the tag team of Coach and Friend. It's Coach James.
Coach James, the monstrosity from beyond. Coach, he is always there. He's always willing to fight. He is a monster in his own right.
That's right, but Scotty Moore leveling Coach James, and you gotta think Scotty Moore, he has studied the tapes of Coach and Friend. He knows all too well that Coach is a dangerous man in this ring, and he's doing the right thing, which is trying to eliminate Coach James as fast as possible. Ooh, as Honey Mustard gets suplexed into the center of the ring.
That's right, Sills. And you gotta look at it from this way. Scotty Moore and the Hammerman, they may both think it's more beneficial to eliminate Coach and Friend at this point.
Oh, but wait a minute. Look, Coach and Friend stacked up into the corner. Hammerman making a Coach and Friend sandwich. And now going after David Jenkins. Oh, big Hurricane Rana sends him down as we reach number 12. And oh, you gotta think Hammerman's happy about this. He has been outnumbered so far with Coach and Friend, but now those odds are being numbered as his brother Griffin enters the match.
That's right, Sills. Anytime you get a tag team in here, we got 2 tag teams in right now, both against Scotty Moore. Both of them have reasons to hate the man. This is not a good field for Scotty Moore at this time. He's got to work really hard.
That's right, but Scotty now holding on to Griffin Clouds, putting him against the ropes, and oh my God, super kicking Griffin to the outside. And I think Scotty Moore, Tibbs, I think Scotty Moore has had enough, and he's about to try to get everybody out that he can.
Almost immediate elimination to Griffin Clouds. That's got a sting for the Clouds clan.
That's right. Now Scotty trying to get rid of Honey Mustard as Hammerman, oh my God, just sends Coach James flying into him once again. And now the big Coach being picked up by the Hammerman, who gets tossed into the ropes. Oh! Big Hurricane Rana to Honey Mustard. Hammerman on fire as we eagerly await number 14. Oh, I'm sorry, 13.
Oh, the lumberjack.
That's
Mother.
You gotta think there is no love lost between the majority of the men in this ring and the lumberjack. I mean, of course, if any of them saw that match earlier tonight, they know the lumberjack just sat idly by, watching as Felix Ball did some horrifying things in the ring. Meanwhile, it looks like Scotty Moore in a spot of trouble. Coach James trying to kick him to the outside. Now the lumberjack.
The lumberjack.
He's picked up the Hammerman, Tibbs. Lumberjack has picked up the Hammerman.
No, you stop it.
And you
stop taking everything I love!
You gotta think that was direct orders from Felix Ball right there, Tibbs. Felix Ball, he's hated you, your son, the Hammerman, and you gotta think Felix told the Lumberjack when he comes out here to target the Hammerman.
Of course, Sills, now we got a spread of coach and friend and the Lumberjack. I'm just so...
Wait a minute. Coach James trying to eliminate Honey Mustard as Justin Clouds comes out to the ring. You can see the Hammerman sadly looking at his brother as he comes in, and you gotta think Justin's getting ready to avenge that loss.
So little, so late though, Justin. If you come in a hair earlier, you could have saved the Hammerman. You could have saved your brother. Why didn't you do that? This is all your fault.
Well, I mean, you can see he immediately went after the Lumberjack, and the Lumberjack looking like he's trying to eliminate Justin. Oh my God, Honey Mustard! Honey Mustard eliminating Coach James from the Rumble, and then gets super kicked by Scotty Moore out of the ring as well.
Oh, coach and friend fell into that trap. When you turn against your tag team partner, it never works well with you. Coach James tried to eliminate Honey Mustard. Honey Mustard eliminated Coach James and then got eliminated for his trouble.
That's right, and now Scotty Moore and the Lumberjack fighting off, and oh, big SMG levels the Lumberjack, but Justin Clouds now taking it to Scotty Moore. Now let's see who's coming in at 15.
Holy shit! That's him! That's FOMO-san!
Tibbs, another arrival from JXT, a man we thought was dead, a former JXT BS champion, one of the most dominant champions they've ever had. It is FOMO-san, and he has arrived here in JWF.
You don't want to fuck with FOMO-san. Holy shit. I can't believe he's come back. I can't believe he made it. We all thought he was dead, Zills.
That's right. Now Justin immediately being grabbed by FOMO-san, but Justin reversing it, taking him out with a big sidewalk slam, and we can see across the front Scotty Moore, who was unfortunately eliminated right before FOMO made his entrance, sadly walking to the back. And you gotta think in Scotty's head right now, this night went the exact opposite of how he thought it would go. Blake Tanner losing his match, getting eliminated early, Scotty getting eliminated. At this point, all hopes for the Dynasty lie on the shoulders of the Dylan.
You gotta wonder when the Dylan's gonna come in. I mean, he could have that number 20 spot. He could have it safe, but we know at least 2 people.
That's right, and now Justin stuck in the corner, Lumberjack just wailing on the broken ribs. Oh, well, there it was, Tibbs. We're talking about the Dylan, and there he is, the Lumberjack eliminating Justin Clouds as the Dylan makes his entrance. And now you gotta thank the Lumberjack and the Dylan, 2 7-foot beasts. And it looks like the Dylan just not taking any time, immediately trying to take out the Lumberjack.
Yes. For the Dylan, once again, too little too late to save his partner, Scotty Moore, but he's here. He's ready, and he could win the whole damn thing.
Well, you got to think a couple of weeks ago, Scotty Moore laid out his plan. He said that the Dylan would be the one to win the Rumble. He would be the one to cash in, and Blake would be the one to be champion. So Dylan, all Dylan needs to do tonight is win, and he'll fulfill 1/3 of the prophecy of the Dynasty.
That's right, Sills. 2/3 could be fulfilled at Wrestlepalooza, but it all hinges on the Dylan right here. The Dylan up against the Lumberjack.
Oh, wait a minute.
And FOMO-san.
He's got the Lumberjack hanging, knocking him to the ground, and now it is down to Dylan and FOMO-san as we await number 17 to come out to the ring. And Tibbs, there it is. Like you said earlier, Sam Adams, the owner of the Second Wind. It allows him to come back into this match, and he's chosen a wise place late in the match. Wait for everybody to be tired. Wait for there to be little people in the ring. And who knows, Sam Adams might take the most of this opportunity right now. Oh, and he almost did as he takes out FOMO-san nearly.
Oh, that's right, so Sam Adams, you gotta say, he is a good tactician. He knows when to place himself and where to place himself.
Dylan with that big running knee takes down FOMO-san. And now sends him into the ropes. Oh, big back elbow. And now sends Sam Adams into the turnbuckle. The Dylan on fire. Picking up Sam on the top. Could be looking for that big kick from above that he has used to take people out from the Rumble before. But Sam wisely getting out of the way. But unfortunately eats a super kick for his troubles.
Of course, Sills, you gotta wonder, the Dylan's got a lot to prove tonight. He's got a lot to live up to, the whole hopes of the dynasty living on him. Sam Adams has already been through the Rumble. Oh, FOMO-san, God! Damn it.
Yes, Tibbs coming in at number 18 is a man who, of course, was victorious earlier tonight in what was a horrifying beatdown of your son, Chuck. It's Felix Ball who immediately starts going after the Dylan, who just slams the 600-pound giant, the strength of the Dylan. Meanwhile, Sam Adams working over FOMO-san.
Oh, Sills, at this point in the game, it comes down to these men, and the few that come after them, and one of these men will be our Viktor.
That's right. Well, no, it won't be Viktor. Viktor actually got kicked out of the company earlier.
No, I know that. Still sing, Sills. Why did you have to bring it? God.
All right, but total destruction from the Dylan levels FOMO-san as Felix Ball. Oh wait, FOMO-san on the outside. Felix Ball looking poised and ready, just lazily watching on as everyone else beats each other down. Who's coming in at 19? Tibbs. Tibbs,
Chuck,
it's your boy! It's your boy, Chuck!
No, Chuck! You're taking too much damage. You can't... Oh, and he's going after Felix Ball. He's trying so hard, Sal.
Oh, and the Dylan with a low bridge takes out Sam Adams, and we are now down to Felix Ball, Chuck Tibbs, and the Dylan. And now at this point, if I'm the Dylan, I would just sit back and let Chuck and Felix fight it out, but unfortunately, it looks like instead... Oh, a dark team up as the Dylan and Felix Ball team up and take down Chuck Tibbs. This is horrifying to watch, Tibbs.
Of course, you gotta know that the Dylan, after everything that him and Chuck have gone through, the Dylan is targeting my son ferociously.
That's right. Now Dylan picking up Chuck once again, both of them trying to weaken him. Felix once again joining as we eagerly await the final entrant. The final men in the 2020 Regal Rumble. Tibbs?
Tibbs, that's...
We've seen an entrance like this before, but it
can't be. Oh, Sills. Oh, God's on parade. Why?
Tibbs, it's the Leviathan. But he was supposed to...
we sealed him away.
He was supposed to be dead. You sealed him away at Los Trios Tangos. Him, Mojo, Gruff, you exorcised Honeypot. This man is supposed to be dead, Tibbs.
He's supposed to be locked away forever, Sills. He's supposed to not make it out of the depths of hell that we confined him to with the crucifix power bomb.
See the crowd of people staring in fear. I mean, and it's right to be fearful of this man, the Leviathan. He has destroyed entire arenas before. This man, this beast has done horrifying things. And he's already entered the ring, and Dylan trying for some shots, trying to take him out. But the Leviathan immediately starting his dark work, taking down Felix Ball, assaulting the Dylan.
I just don't understand, Sills. Something must have happened. He must have found a way to beat the crucifix powerbomb. He must have found a way to... He must have done something.
I don't know, but now Dylan trying his best to fight the Leviathan. But let me tell you something, Tibbs. I don't think that's a wise move on the part of the Lord of the Smart Side as he gets leveled with a big clothesline, picked up off of the ground, and just unceremoniously tossed to the outside. And now, Tibbs, it's down to Felix Ball, your son, and the damn devil himself, the Leviathan.
I can't believe it, Sills.
Wait a minute. Felix Ball. Felix Ball actually trying to mount a comeback, but unfortunately immediately getting put down. But Chuck with a massive elbow takes him down, but that damn bastard Felix Ball, it's like he doesn't even realize the Leviathan's in the ring as he goes after Chuck, but Chuck levels him with a big cutter.
He doesn't care, Sills. This is why we didn't add Felix Ball to our team. He just doesn't care anymore. He doesn't care if the world ends as long as he gets his fucking slice before it ends.
That's right, but
Chuck, no.
Chuck, he's already been injured. He's always been beaten and now picked up. Choke breaker, annihilating the back as the Leviathan picks up Felix Ball, but Felix tosses him across the ring. And let me tell you something, I think that's just a last-ditch effort from the Wrecking Ball.
Oh, Silva, I just can't.
And now he's got him.
Oh, no!
He's got Felix Ball on the outside. He's trying his best to just work him down. The Leviathan, even that beast is finding it hard to move the 600-pound body of Felix Ball. But oh my God! Chuck! Turnabout being fair play. Chuck decides to spear Felix Ball, show him a little bit of that vengeance. But now Felix is getting back up, and he just sees an awaiting beast. It just clotheslines him in the back of the skull, leveling the Wrecking Ball. And now, unceremoniously tossed to the ground is the Wrecking Ball. And Tibbs, it's your boy. Your boy is the last hope for humanity right now as he slaps the Leviathan in the face.
Oh, son, don't show your defiance like this. Oh, son, I'm so sorry.
I don't know, Tibbs.
I couldn't have prepared you for this.
Chuck,
you just have to do your best.
Chuck was looking forward. Usually if a man turns around and sees the Leviathan, he would run the other way. He would run in fear, but Chuck looked defiant. Chuck looked ready to fight. And look at him, picking up the Leviathan, sending him into the mat. And Chuck not losing any control as he picks up the Leviathan, but the Leviathan ducks behind. And grabs him once again, but Chuck fights out of it! Chuck fights out of it, whips him against the ropes, and then scoop slams the Leviathan to the mat! Chuck Tibbs is on fire!
You're doing so good, son. If you could send it home, if you could bring it home, maybe we could do something about the Leviathan. You just can't let it win, son. You can't let it win.
Big neck breaker levels the Leviathan, who gets sent to the outside. The Leviathan is dangling, but Chuck is just the ego. He's instead deciding to play to the crowd. He thinks he has it won, but unfortunately the Leviathan comes from out of nowhere, but he levels him with a big cutter.
Sills, this could be anybody's game. I've never seen my son just so fired up, but the Leviathan, he's just too strong, Sills.
That's right, the Leviathan was once again trying for that big neck breaker, but instead he has grabbed Chuck, wrenching on that the damaged ankle that Felix Ball worked over, and oh my God! Just sends Chuck Tibbs out of the ring. And Captain, I don't know if we can have Wrestlepalooza this year. Because if we do, the main event may very well be Ragnarok itself.
No, Sills. We have to have Wrestlepalooza this year because there's only one hope to defeat the Leviathan again, and I am terrified. But we have to do it. We have to do it for Chuck. And Mamoa Curry has to do it for all of us because the Leviathan has won the Regal Rumble.
Well, Tibbs, it's not been a good show, let's be honest.
Not been my night, no.
Your son was basically murdered. Felix Ball is walked away once again with the Captain's Championship. The Rat Boy defeated Viktor. The Wild-Eyed Southern Boys have defeated the VWO. And the only solace out of all of this is the fact that the JWF World Heavyweight Champion is Mamoa Curry. And as long as that belt is around the waist of that god, I say we still have a fighting chance at Wrestlepalooza.
We can only hope. Everybody give your power to Mamoa Curry.
That's right, Tibbs. Because it has been a hell of a pay-per-view. I wouldn't exactly call it amazing. But who knows what's gonna happen next? In order to find out, you're gonna have to tune in to the Fight Boys podcast, the only place to get your official JWF coverage. But of course, until next time, he's been Captain Tibbs. I've been Silver Spoon. This has been the Regal Rumble. And we will see you next time.